We just got the news. Vince Carter is going to the Hall of Fame.
What are you looking at me for?
Because I can't wait.
So oh my God!
Can't wait.
Come on.
We're coming to you from Toronto, so obviously Vince is a very polarizing figure in this area. Well, whatever. We'll get to his merits Hall of Fame, all that later. But one question I want to start with. Should the Raptors retire Vince Carter's jersey?
Are you crazy? Absolutely not. There should never be a day where his jersey is hanging in the rafters, honored by the Raptors. I'm sorry.
I think they're going to, dude.
There's a lot of revisionist history happening with his career in Toronto now. Listen, the peak was a meteoric rise. It was some of the most fun I've ever had watching basketball as a fan. It was must watch. Like the way he was dunking on people. He did put Toronto on the map in terms of like he really gained respect for the franchise.
Not just Toronto, Canada.
Canada.
There's an argument to say,
Yes.
do we have Shea? Do we have Jamal Murray?
Oh, that's
do we
all
have
true.
these people
Well, the Carter
without
effect.
Vince?
Yeah.
The Carter.
Un-
The Carter effect was undeniable.
It's real.
You can't. It was there, and
Rookie of the year, slam dunk.
Yes.
Like pinnacle of the NBA at one point.
However, the peak was short, okay?
It was.
They only won one playoff series, okay? So I'm about like, listen, did you win enough? To me, he didn't. He won one playoff round. We can the graduation thing was discussed ad nauseum, but like, could you imagine like Ant Edwards in Game 7 going to Georgia before the game to go get his diploma?
Say so. The YouTube comment section tends to think we're not old. We are old. We lived through that era.
Don't tell him.
We're old.
We're
can
old,
see your
man. We
race.
old.
We grew
I
up.
got
We
gray hair on my
grew up
face.
watching this stuff.
We old. That graduation thing, Game 7, for those youngins who don't know, if you're playing in a Game 7 in the second round, you don't go to your graduation. You don't take a flight the same
not
day.
Against this guy. Not
Yeah,
against this
exactly.
guy.
Against Allen
not
Iverson,
against
against
this
a
guy.
good, tough Philly team who ended up making the finals that year. You don't take a flight to a
Anyway.
same day of the game.
Also, too,
it's insane.
It's insane.
It's crazy.
It's
and
crazy.
If that happened now,
I didn't
oh
even
my
go
God.
to my own graduation, and I didn't have a Game 7 to
You're
play
a
in.
popular athlete. They'll give you your diploma. They'll come to you,
Yes.
man. Like, that is the most indefensible act. I loved Vince.
I know.
I
And
love
listen, I don't want to harp too much on it. You know, listen,
I can go all day on it.
It was the after effect of, management was bad, the team was in decline, but you
Yes.
can't. It's an indisputable fact. He stopped trying.
Yeah,
he stopped caring.
Yes.
He forced his way out of town.
But like it's not even, it's the way he was the best at stopping trying. He told the other team to
I
play
know.
that flare. Like
Never
that
forget that.
level
Yeah.
of stuff
Reggie Evans.
has never happened before in the
Yeah.
NBA. Like
Yeah.
his quitting was on the same level of his dunking. Like, is he a better quitter or a better dunker? Because it's arguable.
There was a point where, he had a lot of injuries, and we're like, is this guy even going to have a long career? So it's ironic that he got into the Hall of Fame as a guy who played 21
Based on his
years and
longevity.
actually lasted as long as he did. But at the time, he tanks his value so hard that, and listen, management screwed up too. They traded him for what? Pennies on the dollar.
Alonzo Mourning, Eric Williams,
The
Aaron Williams,
poo-poo platter.
2 first-round picks. One of them ended up being Joey Graham. Like, please, man.
And
it
then
makes me sick.
Vince, as soon as he gets to New Jersey, looks like old Vince again. And you know what he does?
Ripping Raptors' hearts out.
You know what
too,
he
in the
does?
process.
That game winner.
He comes in, rips the Raptors' hearts out, lights them up in Toronto multiple times,
Yep.
is relishing it. And you know what? The Raptors were in the abyss for years after. So that's what I remember as much as the peak. I remember the post-Carter years. They sucked.
He left
If
them
you
in
were a
bad
Raptor
shape.
fan, it sucked.
Look, this
Awful.
is my one. Fab, what's her name, man? Who hurt you? Okay, I need to know. Okay, but you're so hurt by him. I get it. It's really bad. It's really. My whole point. Let me say this. I'm not defending Vince. All right.
Sounds like you are.
Well, here's the 2 points I'm gonna make about it. Number one, look, like an old ex who you've broken up with many years down the road, you tend to look back with a little bit of fondness. Some people might hold a grudge forever. And you know what? I think that's just more a reflection of how you are as a human being.
I hope your wife isn't
Whether
watching
or
this
not-
video.
Okay,
Whether or not
if
you
we're,
just
if
let
we're
it go.
judging me as a person here, this has gone a little too far. Well, no. I'm not holding a grudge. Listen, it got to the point where I wasn't like, hey, we need to boo this guy every time he comes to
No,
Toronto.
we did.
No,
That
no,
was
no.
great. That
Everyone
was
did-
great. It was
listen,
great.
everything heals.
Yes.
He deserved to
Time
at
heals.
least be like, like, the Raps won the title. Everything was healed after the Rap. Everyone could look back and say, we can appreciate what you did. The question was, should we retire his jersey?
Fair point.
That's what I'm talking about. So I don't need to see it in the Raptors. I don't ever.
Okay, so my point.
Garbajosa wore it. Amir Johnson wore it. It's a tradition. Everyone wear 50.
If Garbajosa's ankles don't quit like they do, maybe we would be retiring his jersey.
So my one point to defend Vince about his importance to the franchise. Like we said, we're all of age. We lived through it. I remember when I'm playing in Skydome. I remember all of this. Okay. There was a Vancouver Grizzlies franchise also coming up at the exact same time. And my wife is from Vancouver. I know what happened there. Their sucking was so bad that you couldn't even give tickets away to go watch a sport called basketball in Canada that was at that time extremely foreign. You think about Toronto as a market during the 90s, it was all baseball back to back, all hockey in a pretty great era of puck for Toronto. The Raptors should not have become a popular sport in the city. It took a guy like Vince Carter to encapsulate little kids like me to pick a sport as an immigrant kid who had no historical sport to pass on from an older parent to give something to a new generation of Canadians to call their own. So I don't care that he did all the negative things that he did. I honestly think if he didn't exist, Toronto Raptors might not even exist today.
I agree.
And so that's a really big legacy to leave behind, especially for me, as somebody who's an immigrant kid who had no sports knowledge passed down. I absolved that because I was so infatuated by some of the things that he did. And that's why he was the all-star leading vote getter for 4 or 5 years straight.
Listen, man, I get it. And I'm probably in the minority here.
Yeah,
most people probably feel the way you do, right?
I booed too. Don't get me wrong. I booed as well.
Both things are allowed to be true.
Yes, exactly.
Both things are allowed to be true.
That's the point I just wanted to make.
Exactly.
We 100% help this new generation that we're seeing right now flourish, get into ball. I get all that. He 100% put Toronto on the map. I loved him, man.
Yeah,
and that's why it hurts so much.
I know.
That's why it hurts.
It's great.
That's why it hurts. And if
It hurts
you
a
mentioned
lot.
it, if the Raptors didn't win a title, you're not getting this impassioned and bold.
No, you don't.
You're getting mad because winning helps everything.
The title.
If you don't win the title, I think it's more people on our side.
Exactly. And once again, he didn't need to be booed every time. But one other thing, he's never actually apologized for anything that went down. And that bothers me because can you at least admit some culpability in how this thing went down?
No, that ain't happening.
I know, but why?
Management was bad. Management
was bad.
It was
of
bad.
course they were.
It was bad.
Honestly, I tend to lean more towards West because I believe that I'm not sure if the Raptors still exist, and I love right now that we're blessed with this generation of so many good Canadians. The chance, look at last year in the Worlds. That doesn't happen without Vince. And this year in Paris in the Olympics, Canada has a shot to medal. Has a real shot.
But I've always said that Canada basketball owes more to Vince than the Raptors.
Yes, 100%.
I think what he's done for youths in Canada is more valuable than what he did for the Raptors.
100%.
But to Wes's point, I'm not sure that the Raps exist, and
I don't know, man. That's a tough projection to make.
Watch the Grizzly Truth on Crave. That easily could have been Toronto.
They had T-Mac.
I literally asked Steve Francis, "Are you the reason the Grizzlies left?"
So are you pro retiring his jersey?
No,
watch him melt.
I will say
they are
this.
going to retire his jersey.
I think they will. I think it's a great talking point. I think because of the way he left, I think there's an argument to it not. I will also say this, and we kind of argued about this over WhatsApp. I think I'm putting Vince over DeRozan as the third best rap of all time.
You want to rank him?
Yeah, let's rank. I'm gonna
rank him?
Okay, obviously Lowry's one. I'm going Kawhi 2. I'll put Vince 3, DeRozan 4. That's my Rushmore.
I actually agree.
That's the Rushmore.
I agree with that. I was flirting with DeRozan.
I'll put Siakam over DeMar.
Nah, dude, buddy. All
title. You want a title, man?
Every casual Raps fan is just unsubscribe, unfollow.
And Siakam
hey, man, I'm sorry.
He scored the final field goal to seal the title against the Warriors. I have him at 5.
Siakam's 5.
I value playoff success over regular season scoring.
But there's legacy.
Come on, man.
There's legacy. There's legacy involved with this.
How dare you?
All right. That's another topic. That's another discussion.
Kyle 1, Kawhi 2. He won a title. I don't care. It was 1 year. He won a title. Vince 3 for all of the stuff he did and the fact that it hurts so bad.
Yeah, I'll put him 3.
4, DeMar. I agree with you on the playoff stuff, especially defensively. not great, but he did get them
Yep.
Yeah.
to the playoffs.
He might
won
be
multiple
5.
Made it
rounds.
to a conference
Yeah,
final.
he's probably 5.
And then Siakam, close it up.
I have DeMar 4 and
You want
Siakam
to flip
5.
him? That's fine.
Yeah,
Whatever.
I got Siakam
I'm not
5.
too upset.
That
about
is
it.
the
Sorry, Chris
undisputed.
Bosh.
Yeah, no, sorry, no.
Best bass player of all time, as Fab would say.
TSA collaborator, Chris Bosh. Great
So
guy.
we'll say though, if should the Raps retire Vince's jersey? Let us know in the comments.
And that's the undisputed list. Every other list is wrong.